Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're taking a look at some key details from Baz Luhrmann's hit biopic, Elvis, which chronicles the life of the king of rock and roll. But how accurate is the Elvis movie? Stay tuned to find out. Priscilla's age when she met Elvis. Since its release in June 2022, Elvis has grossed nearly $263 million worldwide, which makes it the second highest grossing music biopic of all time. But there's more to the epic drama film than its smashing box office success. Starring Austin Butler in the leading role, Elvis covers over 4 decades from the life of the iconic Elvis Presley. From his early career to his meteoric rise in the music industry, and personal life events that impacted him until he passed away in 1977. The movie tells it all, in a series of flashbacks from the perspective of Elvis' manager, Colonel Tom Parker, played by Oscar winner Tom Hanks. It's safe to say the movie has its roots in reality, and it seemingly delivers a narrative that's mostly factually accurate. Apparently, director Baz Luhrmann and his crew did a lot of research in places like Memphis and Elvis' birthplace of Tupelo, and it shows. But just like any other biopic, there are parts where the film deviates from the true story of Elvis Presley. In some scenes, it's done to give a better narrative effect, while in others, the slightly twisted truth makes things more interesting, and sometimes even less alarming, for the audience. A major inaccuracy in 2022's Elvis is Priscilla Presley's age when she first met the music legend. In the film, Priscilla, played by Australian actress Olivia de Jong, is shown to be about the same age as Elvis. In reality, however, Priscilla was only 14 when she met 23-year-old Elvis when he was serving in the U.S. Army in West Germany. After their first meeting in 1959, the couple dated for nearly 7 years before Elvis proposed to her in 1966. A year later, in May 1967, the pair tied the knot during a Las Vegas ceremony. At the time, Priscilla was 21, while the king of rock and roll was 32. By 1972, the duo had called it quits, despite their popular love story. It turns out that Elvis was accused of infidelity several times throughout his marriage, but that doesn't mean Priscilla ever stopped caring about him. In a decades-old interview, she said, "I did not divorce him because I didn't love him. He was the love of my life, truly. If anything, I left because I needed to find out what the world was like." The 68 Comeback Special. Elvis Presley's 1968 NBC TV special, also known as the infamous 68 Comeback Special, was one of the most crucial performances of his entire career. But was Robert F. Kennedy really shot during the taping of that iconic comeback special, as shown in the movie? According to Elvis expert and journalist Alana Nash, who's also written several books about the king, RFK's assassination happened in LA during the rehearsals, not the actual taping. Elvis arrived for the start of 2 weeks of rehearsals on June 3, 1968, and Kennedy was shot on June 5, dying the next morning, June 6, she explained. Elvis fires Colonel from the stage. As mentioned before, the 2022 Elvis biopic is narrated by the music legend's longtime manager Colonel Parker, and it's safe to say the movie doesn't shy away from showing Parker's tumultuous relationship with the king, and even portrays him as the antagonist in Elvis' story. So it's hard to question the scene where Elvis fires Parker while performing on stage in Las Vegas. However, this is another discrepancy between the movie and the historical fact. Speaking about the scene, Nash said that Elvis would have never fired Parker from the stage. However, the king did fire Parker after arguing him in his 30th floor suite. And as the movie shows, Elvis couldn't afford to pay the massive amount Parker claimed Elvis owed him, so the musician went back to fixing things with the colonel. Elvis joins the army to avoid getting arrested. After watching Elvis, many viewers were left asking, did the legendary singer actually join the army to avoid being jailed for indecency? Alana Nash says that this is another major detail that the film got wrong. According to her, the colonel was delighted that Elvis was causing riots and grabbing headlines for being overly suggestive. This also explains why Colonel Parker made sure that Elvis was treated as a regular soldier, since he wanted the musician to have a more all-American image. Elvis and B.B. King's Beale Street Hangout. The film showed Elvis hanging out with legendary blues singer-songwriter B.B. King on Beale Street in Memphis, hinting that the two artists were close friends. Because B.B. King was working as a DJ in Memphis at the time, it's no wonder he and Elvis knew each other, but they didn't spend as much time together as the movie portrays. According to Alana Nash, Elvis and B.B. were acquaintances, but not close friends. They probably first crossed paths at Sun Studio, but only briefly. It's safe to say the Elvis movie isn't 100% historically accurate, but despite its inaccuracies, the film holds enough truth to narrate a compelling story and impress viewers with remarkable performances from its main cast. That's it for today, guys. What are your thoughts on Elvis, both the movie and the King of Rock and Roll? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon to stay notified about our latest videos. See you next time.